This is it. Heavy metal gray.
All right, start popping stuff off.
Just rip the whole thing apart. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Talon. I make new videos every week, and you're gonna want to subscribe, I'm assuming, after seeing this video. If you're not new here, you know who this is. I'm here with Peyton, and we are in Independence, Kansas at Quality Toyota, and you guys know what that means already. Dude, third time now. Round three, baby. Third time's the charm. I'm gonna explain what all of this is about as the day progresses for me. But before then, Peyton said, hey, if you're coming out here and you're picking up a new vehicle, I want to do something for people who are watching these videos. So I'm going to let you take this one away.
There's a lot of dealers that are still charging market adjustments over MSRP. We are not one of those dealers. So I've got a lot of inventory right now, a lot of rare, cool stuff. I've got a premium Land Cruiser, XSE Highlander in cement, and I have an unsold TRD Pro Sequoia. All brand new units. If you mention this video, mention Talon, I will discount them less than MSRP. Give us a call, mention the video. No dealer add-ons, no market adjustments, no BS. Give us a call and let's work it out.
And that's why I trust you with purchasing vehicles.
Let's do it, baby.
So I hit Peyton up and I was like, hey, I want this new vehicle. And he's like, I'm gonna pick you up in something cool. So right here, I just mentioned this in the last video, but I have not experienced a new Sequoia yet until today. So he picked me up in this guy at the airport. Very similar to the Tundra, obviously exterior and interior. This is a hybrid though. It's got a ton of power, a lot of space, almost more space than the GX even.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
More than the GX.
Absolutely love that thing. I think my next choice would be the Land Cruiser. We talked about all of this stuff too. Talking a lot about SUVs recently, but I should probably get one of those to do a more in-depth review for you guys. I have a little bit of experience with it. And then the Highlander.
XSE, it's in the hottest color, cement right now. It's all-wheel drive, great family vehicle.
Yeah, Ashley wants one of those.
They're hot. It's probably our #1 seller, the Highlander, and then the RAV, just in our area, lots of families, you know, so again, any of these, I will charge less than MSRP, and I know that's kind of hard to find now, so mention the video and you'll get the best deal.
That's awesome. I appreciate
of course,
that.
Brother.
I'm sure you guys do too. And now, why we are here, if you guys couldn't really tell from like 2 videos ago, I sold the Supra and I found a vehicle that I think will be better for me in life for a lot of different reasons. I'm going to talk about them when I'm not standing out here in the cold, but this right here is the newest Psy vehicle in the fleet, a 2025 GR Corolla Premium Plus. There's a lot of stuff that I want to tell you about this car, and I'm going to do it as I'm driving it from Quality Toyota in Independence, Kansas, all the way back to Denver, Colorado today. So it is about 15 degrees out here and we're freezing. It's brisk. I guess some real quick pointers that I'll let you guys in on is the new redesign for 2025. This thing makes a little bit more torque than the model that I was just testing, which was a 24. And being that this is a Premium Plus, we now have the hood bulge, which I was talking about. Functional vents up here, new ventilation down on the side, 4-piston caliper in the front, 2 in the rear. They are slotted rotors and they have matte black wheels on here now, which is a little bit of a change too. The interior, I'll show you guys that stuff when we're driving, but up on the top, forged carbon fiber roof, saving 8 pounds of weight compared to a premium or a core model. Pretty much similar styling and everything back in the rear. We have the 3 exhaust tips there, and then one of the options that I chose was the Circuit Edition spoiler. So a little bit of extra aero and styling back here. Trunk big enough for my luggage and camera gear that I flew here with. And I also optioned this with a chassis brace. So there's going to be a little bit of changes compared to the model that I already reviewed for 7 days, and I'm excited to test this thing out. Interior, first cold start, 10 miles. That sounds so good for 3 cylinders. All right, I've got my CarPlay all set up. We have 615 miles, 8 hours and 41 minutes. indicating 236 miles of range on this tank, and I'm gonna update you guys hopefully when we get to warmer weather, but I don't think it's getting any warmer on the way back to Colorado. So give me the next like 2 hours to get some initial impressions, and then I'll let you guys know how the Premium Plus is. All right, guys, first fuel up. We are in about the middle of Kansas right now, did 275 miles so far, had about 20 miles left on this tank, and I'm averaging, I think, 23.5, 23.6. So that was mixed kind of back road driving until I got onto 70, and now it's highway all the way back to Colorado. So I could probably stretch that number, well, definitely stretch that number up to the advertised 24, but on the highway I am doing like 70, sometimes 80 miles an hour. So if I really cooled it and did like 60, 65, I could probably get even higher than that. So here are some things that I've been noticing about this car compared to the one that I was just testing. Obviously we have some more cooling ducts through the new redesigned front bumper, and the Premium Plus has even more cooling than some of the lower models. Obviously the hood vents and everything that we talked about already, but none of that stuff is really noticeable, at least not right now. Not really doing any spirited driving, and that's another point that I kind of want to talk about. A lot of people like to talk about break-in periods when it comes to sports cars like this, or just any car for that matter, and I am on the fence with that. Some people say, oh my gosh, this is done already. 10.7 gallons, is that right? I guess so. All right, so as I was saying, a lot of people like to talk about break-in periods on new vehicles, and I'm on the fence in between kind of the two opinions. The first opinion is Toyota, or whatever manufacturer it is, they pre-break in their cars and you don't have to do anything with them. You can just drive them like a bat out of hell straight off of the dealer lot. And then there's the other side of that who says, no, you must break in every new vehicle. You have to kind of baby it for the first like 500 to 1,000 miles. You should keep it under 4,000 RPMs, so on and so forth, early oil changes, all that good stuff. I am in between that. I do think it is good to kind of baby it at least a little bit. I mean, the car is brand new, and I would rather not take my chances just beating on the thing right out of the dealership. But at the same time, I'm not super picky about it, so I just kind of drive the car like I normally would without being too spirited with my driving. And when I'm picking cars up at Quality Toyota, I have to drive about 600 miles right out of the gate to get back home. Totally worth it. Again, huge thanks to Peyton, and I appreciate him finding the vehicles that I'm currently buying. But when it comes to that long drive, some things that I specifically do, especially with a manual car, is I try not to leave it in a single gear for too long. You want to vary the RPMs, that way you're not just sitting in 6th gear, riding at 2,500 or 3,000 RPMs. So I'm trying to kind of like stretch the legs of this car. I'm varying the RPMs a little bit. I'm trying not to go over 4,000, but sometimes like getting onto a highway, you do a little bit. Even sometimes when I'm on a long stretch, I will downshift out of 6th gear down into 5th, sometimes even slow down into 4th, and really just kind of break in the gearbox at the same time. So I guess you would say I'm on the more conservative side of that whole break-in period argument, and I don't care what side you fall on. It's your own vehicle, do with it as you wish, but I like to be a little bit safer and treat the car nicely. I want this thing to last me a while, of course. Now back to some things that I notice on the interior here. I haven't really showed you guys much about this yet, but it's very similar to the unit that I demoed, but the Premium Plus has a little more Premium Plus features since this is like the special one. Red stitching all over the car on the steering wheel here. It's very subtle, but down here on the shifter boot, the screen and everything up here is basically the same. I have not connected this to my Toyota app yet. The sound system is pretty good. We have a heads-up display, which the premium model did not have, so that's an added benefit. And then as far as some of the other specs go, this car does make more torque this year. We're looking at 295 pound-feet of torque, and to be honest, I haven't really felt that yet because, again, I'm trying to treat the car nicely, at least for this first, like, couple hundred miles. I'll report back on that in the future, but the main thing that I've noticed right out of the gate is that the suspension on this is of course refined and redesigned a little bit, extra spring on the dampeners, and I would say that this car feels even more dailyable than the 2024 model that I was checking out. It is not quite as harsh on the highways and some of the bumps on especially concrete roads where you see a lot of like frost heaves and stuff like that, so this is actually a little bit more comfortable than the last one felt. Even driving around in a parking lot like this, I feel like I already notice a pretty big difference, which is surprising to me. I really didn't think it would be that much different. Apparently it is a little bit more refined for cornering and things like that, which we will find out eventually, but I think as of right now, those are the main takeaways. Some of the things that I don't really care for, at least right now, 2 of the things can be fixed. The sun is finally going down, but there is no tint anywhere on this car, and I was absolutely cooking on some parts of that drive. I'm of course wearing all black. I wasn't wearing my jacket, but I definitely need some ceramic tint on this, probably all the way around. Second thing, which I mentioned in my previous video, is no armrest here, which there is an armrest that you can put in place. I will probably give that a try, but also I'm not terribly uncomfortable without it. I've just been kind of resting my hand on the e-brake, the handbrake here, and so far I've been pretty comfortable. I mean, I just drove 275 miles and hopped out and I feel good. So seats are comfortable. And then the one thing that still kind of sucks, but can't really change it, this wireless charger down here. I tried charging my phone with this and it has to be so spot on for it to actually work. So when it does work, it's really slow. It turns your phone into a ball of lava. So unfortunately for me, this is just going to be like a little cubby to keep my phone instead of having it in my pocket. And I've just been charging it with a USB-C cable, which you find right back here. So those are my thoughts for the first tank. I will probably have to fill up 2 more times before I make it back home. I'm gonna grab an energy drink, maybe a bite to eat. We're gonna hit the road again. Oh, it is freezing cold. This is going to be my last gas stop for the trip until I make it back home, which is nice. It is 5 degrees, and after the sunset, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little delirious. I've been up since 4 a.m. Eastern time, flew from Pennsylvania to Georgia to Oklahoma, drove to Independence, Kansas, and then I'm making my way back. But I'm gonna make it home at a decent hour, which is nice. So instead of giving you delirious thoughts on the car, I just have been writing down notes, and I'm gonna do a recap once I'm at home and in a better headspace. I really need to get these windows tinted though, because driving at night as the sun sets, your eyes get weary, and some of these trucks' headlights are just absolutely blinding. And again, I'm not used to a car without tinted windows, so that is going to be one of the first things on the to-do list. There is going to be quite a long to-do list, as you guys can imagine, and I'm gonna fill you guys in on all that stuff by the end of the video too. We are done fueling up already. Ah, I love that. Oh, okay. Up to 546 miles. Check out that fuel economy now. 24.2 miles per gallon, so 0.2 over what they advertise. And that's me averaging probably like 75, 80 miles an hour right now. Definitely picked up the pace a little bit since it's all highway. Really liking everything so far, obviously. This is kind of like the honeymoon phase. One of the things that I noticed, and I'll hit on this more in a future video, but the GR4 all-wheel drive system has changed slightly. The dial is right over here to adjust everything. We have normal, now gravel, and track. So in normal mode, this is going to be your 60-40 split, so a front wheel bias. If I put it in gravel mode, that is now a 50-50 split all the way around. And then track mode for this newer model, the 25, this one actually gives you 30-70, so a little bit rear bias, but also it kind of changes dynamically depending on your driving conditions. So it will give you 60-40 when it matters, or 30-70, or 50-50, so it kind of pushes the power around. I haven't actually felt anything like that yet because we're really just commuting, driving on the highway right now, but I'm definitely gonna revisit the kind of new and improved GR4 system here in the future. So while driving, I found this out too. iPhone, just a Pro, not the Pro Max, but it fits perfectly in this little like tray down here, and it doesn't move at all. Honestly, better than the wireless charger up here. I don't plan on getting a phone mount for this car, wireless CarPlay obviously, so I don't really need that. All you have to do is select your phone, use it for CarPlay. I just set up the Toyota app with this car too, so typically it does that automatically.
Head southwest toward Colorado Avenue.
And here we go, the last hour of the trip. I'll be home just before 10 p.m. All right, back in Colorado, it is now the next day. I gathered my thoughts, I got some sleep. This is the part of the video that a lot of you guys probably tuned in for. Why did I decide to sell my Supra to get a GR Corolla? You may think that it was like spur of the moment. I just tested that other GR Corolla and fell in love with it and just found one and bought one right away. But this actually started way back in October. I reached out to Peyton at the end of the month and I was like, hey dude, I think I'm going to sell the Supra after doing some more research on this. And now that these are available, refresh for 25, I think this is probably gonna be a better car for me and the things that I do. So he got on it right away. The car was built in Japan, of course, where all of these are built, shipped over, went to Quality Toyota, and then I picked it up. So it seemed really fast, but this has actually been in the works for a little while now. But why the downgrade? A lot of people call going from a Supra to something like this a downgrade. And I mean, it just comes down to like a few different factors. For me, 4 doors, all-wheel drive. I live in Colorado. I was actually driving it in the snow all day today, and the all-wheel drive system did great. These summer tires did not. I already bought some new tires for it, so that's gonna be going on there. But it's just a lot more practical than the Supra was, and I don't wanna beat a dead horse. You guys should go watch my previous video where I did an in-depth review of the 24 because I give you guys a lot of comparisons between the Supra and this car, and I love it. I think it's going to have more longevity for me, just being more practical with 4 doors and still 300 horsepower, which is a lot of power from the factory. I really don't think I need to change much with that. And I think my perfect balance, which I talked about this in that last video, but my perfect balance would be like 1 horsepower per 10 pounds. Oh, thanks Liquid Death, not a sponsor. Or maybe 10 horsepower per 100 pounds, however you want to look at it. This car is pretty close to that already, so just a few simple mods that really isn't going to change much about the driving dynamics of the car. It's not going to jeopardize reliability or anything. That's basically what I'm going to be doing with this car, and it already starts right now. Look where I'm at, if you couldn't tell already. Say what's up.
Game on.
I'm at Lucid Wraps, and the first thing that I always do to all my vehicles is, of course, paint protection. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, one of the reasons I went for an all-wheel drive car, especially this one, is because it has rally in its roots, and this car will absolutely see dirt. The Supra couldn't really see dirt without getting dangerous and messing some things up. So instead of stancing this thing out, lowering it, and making it kind of how I did in the past with my Subaru, I look back at that now and I'm like, why did I do that? That was a rally car from the start. This is going to be a rally build. I actually said this on Instagram like probably 3 months ago when this all started, I was like, what if I sell the Supra and get a rally car? And everyone's like, yeah.
You should play that.
I'll pop it up right here. I was just like putting out feelers, but we're doing it. Yeah. So we're doing it now. I actually have a flight out tomorrow morning already to go do some more new car stuff, but it's in good hands here with Jake, and you guys will see kind of what we do with it.
It's warm in here.
Yeah, it's warm.
Stay nice and warm.
I'm dripping snow and ice all over your super clean
It
shop.
happens.
Some things you guys can expect are not lowering it. We're going to run a beefier wheel and tire setup, one that's going to be good for the snow driving, because right now this thing is like on ice skates. Actually, ice skates would be good on ice. It's like wearing flip-flops while walking on an ice rink. It's not good, so we're going to swap those out. If anything, I might even lift the car at some point. We're going to do exhaust, maybe intake for some more turbo performance, and I'm going to fill you guys in on all that stuff in the future. So this is it. Last time seeing its stock color, heavy metal gray.
All right, start popping stuff off.
Just rip the whole thing apart. All right, well, that's it for this video then. I will bring you guys some more updates whenever I can. I do have a ton of travel going on right now, so videos on the GR Corolla will be coming out maybe like once a month until I'm back here for a while, and hope you guys are stoked on it, because I am.
I am.
Jake's stoked on it.
Yeah.
Are you stoked?
I'm stoked. Sam,
I'm definitely stoked.
are you stoked?
Sam's stoked. I need 3 mics so we can all be mic'd up. Huge thank you to the whole team at Quality Toyota. Peyton, he's the man. He helped me find all these vehicles that are sometimes hard to get. The Supra was difficult. My specific Tundra was difficult. These you can definitely find around, but as soon as they are on dealer lots, they're marked up or they're sold already. So like he said in the beginning of the video, he's got a lot of kind of special vehicles on his lot right now. And if you guys want a vehicle at MSRP or even with discounts, hit them up, tell them that you saw this video, and I guarantee you they will take care of you, because I bought 3 cars from them now and I can't recommend them enough. So yeah, I guess that's all. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.